Well, hello, and welcome back to another segment of Live Today Health Talk with Charlene B, Rosa J,
Yes, I can't
Tiffany
see. You
D.
can't see me.
All right, and our special guest to my left and your right is Mr. Rob Howze.
Hello.
How's it going?
All right.
How's your life?
Welcome to the Village Connector Radio with Live Today Health Talk. And isn't it, yes, a wonderful day out there today, I tell you.
Yes.
But while we drop these wonderful health nuggets with you, we hope that you are planting seeds so that you can till that soil and watch it grow. How about that?
Harvest time.
Watch it grow, yes. So, our disclaimer, as always, we are not MDs, but everything we share with you is public information, and you can Google it all day long, all right? So chime in to our Facebook group if you have not already. You can also catch us on Periscope, as well as and we'll be looking forward to coming up on YouTube very soon. All right, now our last segment, we had Dr. Fisher in with Women Veteran United Committee, and we spoke about community events. Well, we're going to keep it in the community and give a segue out to connecting the world to wellness today with Fit World. All right.
Yes.
So is everybody chimed in and we're ready to rock and roll? Facebook is up and rolling. Share, invite. And Rob?
Yes, ma'am.
We want to ask you today, my co-host, do you have any greetings for our listening audience before we get to Mr. Howze and his intro?
No, I don't have anything.
You know, I always got something to say.
All right. Bring
I
it.
always have something to say.
Bring it.
Okay, so today...
Pay attention, Rosa.
Yeah, they're big old cup it away.
Go ahead, sis.
I thought you said you...
No, I ain't got nothing. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay, so we talk about health, wealth, being alive. That's why it's called Live Today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we bring in all this stuff, and we hope that you are using it.
Yes.
That you are actually putting it into implication, applying it to your life, making things better. I'm going over to Village Connector. No, I think I'm going to Live Today Health Talk.
Yes,
is it on
ma'am.
there?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to
Yes,
Live
it
Today.
is.
I'm getting ready to drop live off of my live page and going to the group page.
All right.
All right, so I'll see you ladies and gentlemen over there.
Yes.
Please join us.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned,
All right.
huh? All right. Well, Mr. Howze, would you please share out some of your public information so your listening audience can follow us? Your Facebook page.
Yes. So Facebook page is Fit World App. Fit World APP. Now we also have a little private group called Fit World Changers.
Yes.
And we keep that. We made it private so that we know that folks who really want to be a part of the Fit World movement, we can then let them in. And so if you want to be a part of that movement, all it is sharing health, wealth, inspiration, things that move your body, mind, or spirit in the right direction.
Say that again. Move your what?
I move your mind, body, and spirit. And I'm gonna tell you, here's a disclaimer.
All right.
A lot of things that I say, I won't be able to repeat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I don't know. Sometimes
Okay,
it
you
just
flowing.
it is flowing
You flowing.
sometimes.
All
But I
right.
can't say that because I know this whole thing is about mind, body, and spiritual wellness. The whole
Yes.
movement. And connecting with people and everybody has a different gift.
Yes.
And it's our goal to find the gifts and put all the gifts under the tree and then serve the people with them.
All
All
right.
right.
All right.
So-
All right. So, Mr. Howze, would you please share with us how you got started? Because you started out talking about gifts. So how did you even discover? How did you get in the zone? Huh?
I don't know exactly. If I go back, I think it probably had to be in high school when I recognized that people really had terrible communication skills. I grew up in. Pass this down to my young son, please.
All
Just
right.
use that phone, buddy. I grew up in the ghetto and the suburbs.
Okay.
And so I grew up around a lot of people of my color who didn't really like the other color and really didn't like their own color. But then I grew up where the people of the white people didn't like black
didn't
people.
like themselves.
But I noticed that they were all people. But because the way Buffalo is, it's literally a mile and a half between the suburbs and the ghetto. My grandma was in the suburbs, my dad was in the ghetto, so I had a chance to live in both areas and experience both personalities and both settings. I was like, wow, this is, and at a young age, I could tell, like, wow, this is a big problem. How can we become better communicators? Well, I realized people just didn't love themselves. They didn't love themselves, and they were too much into themselves to want to serve anyone else. So not only did they not love themselves, but they were too into themselves to not want to learn to love someone else. I was like, this is very complicated. This is very complicated. So what can we do? Like, what can we do?
Back it up from the mind. Back it up.
So
Silence it.
you know, you provide programs. You give resources. Books, TV shows, any kind of content that can move people's minds forward. So that's where it started for me. It just started, what can I do to change that?
I got a question. You said Buffalo. Okay.
New York.
Oh, we talking about New York. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Buffalo, where it snows 77 inches and we go to school.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay? We go to school. And no 2 hour delay, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a difficult place to grow up in. But the good thing about it is once you grow up there, you can live anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that helped you become well-rounded also, because like you said, and growing up in DC and then moving out to Columbia, Maryland, when Columbia first got started, like you said, with multicultural and being challenged because of my complexion. So, and then coming back to DC, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right?
That's right.
But it was a culture shift.
It is.
It was a culture shift. But you said in high school. So in high school, you recognized that you wanted to make a change, an impact in the world.
I did. And not saying I did a very good job in high school, but I realized, but I recognized that it was necessary. And that's when it was brought to my attention. I probably didn't making good, real responsible moves until college, but I recognized this is a problem. Like, really?
Wow.
We have enough problems that come to us without trying. We're going to create more.
Yeah,
you right about that.
So that's me. That's where that holistic wellness comes in. That it's not just physical. It's mental and spiritual. Wow. And if you have all those components together, you'll make better decisions. You have better perception, and we'll have a better planet.
So out the gate, let's go down memory lane.
Back down memory lane.
In high school, what were some of the things that you started out with? Because if I'm right, living with parents, not a lot of income, not sure what your social circle was like, if they were all like-minded in high school with you. Right. So what did you start with to say, I'm going to make this change, this impact?
So I started with getting shot. That was the beginning.
Wow.
That was the kickoff to the game.
Ooh, yes.
And getting shot right before I went to college, right before I left.
Oh my goodness.
And so that was like the confirmation. I knew that I had to make some changes, and I needed to give back to my community. I didn't know at that young age how I was going to do it, but I knew that something had to change for us. And so right before I left, I'm sitting in the car and with my boy, and somebody, just long story short, robs us and shoots me.
Oh my goodness.
He actually shoots in the car like 5 times. The bullet goes in through my arm, out the other side, into my boy's leg. His name is Rob too. We always say Rob's got robbed. Right. We laugh now.
Okay.
We weren't laughing that
How about that?
I know you wasn't.
But the crazy thing about it was the bullet went in and came out. And later that night, I'm looking at my shirt. It was a Barry Sanders jersey. It was bloody. And I'm looking at it. It had holes. There was holes in the front of the shirt.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm like, I didn't get shot in the chest. As I'm holding, I realized what happened. When the shooter shot, we both jumped back. And so the wind moved my shirt just enough. The bullet went through my shirt here, just missing my chest cavity by whatever you want to call those milli-millis.
Everything.
All that. So I got this shirt to prove that he's good. I said, okay. And I didn't really know God then either. I knew, I was just trying to figure stuff out. I knew it all existed. I knew we were ignorant. I knew all these things. I just didn't know how to put it together.
Yeah.
Right before I left, that was my stamp. Like, okay, boom. Just so you know.
That's like a movie.
Yeah.
We see that all the time in the movies. The young man about to leave off to make a better, he got the chance to break through and go to college.
Yep.
And then here he is, most of the time, wrong place.
Yep, wrong place, wrong time. Yep.
And wow.
Well, yeah.
Life.
That's
just
it.
Gets, but you said millimeters, and I want to say somebody had an angel.
Oh yeah. Better believe it.
Wow.
Better believe it. I remember. I think I stood holding that shirt for like 3 days. I was just standing there holding that shirt.
And he was in shock.
Like wow, chills going.
I know that's
good. That's
wow.
And so
good.
Yeah. Okay. Look, can we even step off
right.
of that? Oh, wow.
Well, it sounds to me as if Spirit had been trying to tell you something for a very long time. He had to put some fear in your heart.
Yeah, they had to make sure I was listening.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yes.
we here. An 11-day journey takes 40 years.
Oh, how about that?
You know how that goes sometimes.
Sometimes.
Don't we? But a lot of people don't know
Yeah.
that it was supposed to have been an 11-day journey, because all we hear about is the what?
Yeah.
The 40 years.
Yeah.
They don't know that it was right over there.
Right over there. Right over there. Come on, children. I got a prize for you.
Wow.
And it's funny how he shows us all the time. He gives us, directions. He drops stuff from the sky, literally. But no, life happens.
Okay.
And so it's our job, as people who understand that, just to help people see life through a clearer lens, kind of shift their paradigm just a little bit. Because sometimes they're kind of just stuck in their own way of thinking. And when you get stuck there, a lot of times that's where you stay stuck.
It's not just a little bit.
I have a coach who said something to me yesterday that a lot of high-paid coaches tend to tell us, is that we have 3 phases of life. You have your youth between 18, 26, 26 to 30, 30 to 50, and then 50 to whenever. If you don't learn it in your first stage, it becomes more difficult to transpire into another level of understanding if we don't pay attention those first 20 years of being. And then when you get to your 60s and your 50s, if you don't pay attention, you're lost, because everything is just grounded in you, and it takes so much time. I'm grateful for you that you actually listened in your 20s.
I got smacked a couple times,
Yeah.
I took the hard road a couple times.
I think we all had a little bit of that. I mean, I didn't get shot, but I fell off a bike, almost got hit by a car, but that was enough right there. So.
Wow. Yeah, we've all had that eye-opening moment, huh? Okay,
It's all about growth.
So now, after that, you
What happened?
regroup and
Regroup.
how do you?
Well,
Now what's next?
Well, next, say I go to school. I study child psychology.
Where'd you go?
So I went to Howard.
All right.
Went to Howard.
Howard University.
Howard
right
University,
Here.
yeah.
All right. I mean, not right here, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, and then I left and we started my own business.
Can I ask what provoked child psychology?
Well, I realized that it was the mindset, it was understanding young people. And so, although I could understand it from my perspective, I wanted to understand it more from a clinical perspective and have more like of a thesis of a real professional analysis so that I can really, not just be doing things based off my own opinion.
Okay.
So I recognized that. I wasn't really interested in the degree. I just wanted to know more. I've always been hungry to know stuff, So I went there, studied that, And actually, that's the only class I passed.
The major?
Yeah,
Well, that's all right.
I didn't pass anything else.
Okay.
That's when I realized school wasn't really for me.
Okay.
It's like, okay, so I'm getting straight A's and all the stuff that I like and stuff I don't like. I just can't focus on. It's
It was
like,
boring.
I was trying. It was just like. So one day I just like, I'm just gonna start my own company. So I started a movie company and did that. But that was like that was the birth for me. And then for the next 5 years, I really was just kind of just growing.
Okay.
And then God put it on my heart to start this nonprofit.
Okay.
Back then. But I think what he was doing was he was waiting for me to get a little more mature to understand. And so in 2007, we launched that nonprofit. And the nonprofit was for young people, a place after school and summer camp to come and get mentally, physically, spiritually fed.
Okay.
And we invite coaches in, psychologists, chefs, all kind of different people to expose them to, and then have curriculums for them. But most importantly, have them set goals. Have them set goals and then put together a strategy to get to those goals. And then we revisit where they were every week so that they get into the mindset of goal setting.
Yeah.
Who does that with you?
Yeah.
Nobody. We doing a Common Core. We doing 5 plus 5, and you get 26 buns, and then you get 36 pieces of cheese. And if you take a house over here and you put a table on that, where will you be in 70 years? Like that's the kind of education we get. Not all the time, but our education system could be a little better. I think it could be a little bit better.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'll give them some credit because they are producing some good fruit. But if we can focus on the things that create their character, things that give them sustainability in life, like balancing their checkbook, understanding their emotions, like all that. I mean. Trigonometry is cool, but
I'm surprised at a lot of things they've taken out of school. As I talk to my grandchildren, to find out that they've taken physical education.
They just cut more 15 more minutes. They just cut 15 more minutes.
They did, and then home economics. You got carpentry.
Wow.
Stuff that really helps with the mind and helps with your growth in our society. I mean, when I look at a young teenager and I see that she doesn't know how to sew her own or him or own pants up or sew on a button, I got a problem with that. I'm like, what? How you gonna help your man out if he don't know how to sew? You know what I'm saying? That's just me, right?
Obviously, that's just you. Because I ain't even thinking about the man. I'm talking about me.
Well, I mean, even that too. Because I look at my mom, because she took care of my dad, basically when it came out to stuff like that. But I'm saying still, that's a struggle. They not really giving the students nothing nowadays, except for really trying to survive.
Actually,
everything is computerized.
You have to understand the main reason why they have
in-house
public education. Public education was never about pushing us into a work mode. It was basically set up to push us into the worker mode, to follow industry. That's what that was all about, and it has not changed. So they're not going to give us all that we need to self-sustain us. There are other people like Rob, different programs that they have. However, the point is, unless they're pushed or made to go the first time to see if they like it, they'll never venture out. And I find that teenagers now, I don't know whether it's fear or I just don't see any hope to doing anything.
It could be background too, because
I don't.
On some occasion, it could be background.
It could be a lot of things, but I think that if we allow Rob to talk about his program, we can actually get kids and parents excited about making that first show. And before it's over, I want to, if I may, invite people to do something that may assist their sons this weekend coming up. But Rob, you got a good point, because children are not going to learn, or they're not going to learn all that they need through public schools. And by the time they get to the ordinary children, not extraordinary children, ordinary children, by the time they get to the 9th grade, sometimes 6th, they're done with education. you know, because of the way it's done.
Yep.
Sit me down and let me read out of a book is not going to do it.
No.
Children need to have hands-on experiences. And we live in D.C. and they make it so difficult for teachers to just take our children out into the world to do education. So that's just my set on why we like we are right now.
That was a great a great set on it, because even within our history books it tells us when we shifted from industry into technology, but
and so
the schools,
right, and because when they shifted from technology to technology, they still haven't shifted completely like the outside of Washington, United States has.
Yes.
I taught for 34 years.
Yeah, thank you.
And when I was teaching, like I'm still teaching. When I first got back to D.C. was in 1980. Europe, we had a workshop, and they brought this brother in from England to train teachers on technology. And the things that their children were doing in technology, we had not even begun to do them. We were still doing rote education. And if you go into some of those schools, that's what they basically do with technology. Their form of technology is to study things and take a test. Study things and take a test. And there's so much more to technology. And I suffered because I did outside the box. As a teacher, I was never recommended because I did not follow instructions as far as that was concerned. So being a teacher, you have to be daring enough to give your children what you see as a boost, as opposed to trying to flood them with information that they never get to use. You know, and that's where we are right now. English and math, reading and math. But they can't read science books, they can't understand social studies books. They don't know the capital of the even though they live. I bet you if you ask them what is the capital of the United States, they cannot tell you. You know, they can't tell you the states. They can't tell you the countries. Some of us can't tell you. And that's pitiful.
It is.
But anyway, we're not. We need to move on to who you are, Rob, and what you present to our students, our teachers, our whatever.
But I want to thank both of you because you hit on something. Like I said, as we move from industry to technology, you both saw that it wasn't being grasped. So you both came up with a way, like she said, going outside the box in her classroom. Like you said, you wanted to get into the background of the child's psychology, so you can see, because you said it wasn't interesting to you. You passed the classes that you like, and aren't we all guilty of that? But then the other ones, it's like, and I know when I talk to my male children, it's boring, it doesn't hold me, and I'm like, well, you gotta find a way, because guess what, you've got to pass it.
You gotta pass
you need it, you gotta pass it. But how do I apply it in the world? That's what they ask me. How do I apply it? And I'm like, all of it you can apply, all of it's not even truth anymore, as we know, right? But let's figure out a way that it's going to stay so you can pass that test so you can get out of it.
So you can get out.
And that's what I do now. Just, you know, and I sad to say, don't want to say push you through, but grasp it long enough so it'll stick so you can move on.
So you can go to the next level.
Yes, to the next level, exactly.
But you have to understand, too, that our school systems, and this is basically, they're either experts in one field, teachers, they're either experts in one field or they're not experts in any field. So a lot of times they themselves, unless they sit back and do some meditation and do some thinking, okay, now how can I get this to be interesting? That's why I went into science, because you know I can teach everything through science, and everybody wants to know how things work. Everybody wants to know, if I mix this with that, will it actually blow up? You know, every kid is excited about science. You know, so I look at this, but I look at this and there's no one fix.
No.
There's no one fix. And one of the things that I had to realize is whatever program I was doing or presenting with my kids or children, that I had to do all that I could possibly do. However, I was not going to be their only teacher. Just like we don't always have just one mentor or one coach. Spirit brings us to whatever we need, and they do the same thing for our children.
All right.
Pun intended. It takes a village.
Yes. To raise.
Takes a village.
You know what? As we get ready to close out for today, I want to say to Rob and RJ, because he is in the feed. I've been telling him he's going to be in this feed. So I want to thank you both for joining us today, and give us, in our last 5 minutes as we get ready to say goodbye to our listening audience, tell us what inspired you to even bring your son with us today, and how he's taking part in what he's grasping as he watches his father.
So when I was RJ's age is when I started recognizing, the different things. I didn't necessarily have the mentor. My father was great, but he wasn't necessarily connected to me in that way, to where he could explain and show me, because I probably wasn't even telling him what I was thinking, so he couldn't have served me. And so, but I do know the importance of exposure.
Yes.
I mean, you literally can expose somebody to something, and that they will create the invention that changes the world just because they were exposed to it. So for him, because he's so amazing with technology and doing his YouTube videos, and he loves his field, I want to expose him to different opportunities so that he can become confident. He could see other people doing it. I mean, I just saw Glenn's son coming here, fixing the camera. I said, "You see that? That's his boy."
Yes.
He said, "Yeah, I saw it." And so I'm just trying to explain to him, like, just gotta be around. In order to do what you never done, you gotta become somebody you never been.
Right.
Go ahead.
So let's teach him that.
That's a good tweetable. Say it again.
That sounds almost like hanging with people that you has your answer, staying away from people who got your problems.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And
I like
it's
that.
caught then taught.
That's right.
We pun dropping today.
Pun dropping.
So, as we close out, I want to say that we're going to be doing a fundraiser with Women's Veterans United Community, and it's for women's shelters. We're asking that everyone, if you drop off bras and panties for clean, yes, new, because what we find is a lot of the women in the shelters, when they get the gift bags, they don't get toiletries. They don't get personal items, So a lot of times when things are donated, the men are fine, but the women don't get that apparel that they need. So you can go to the website for www.wvuc.inc.org for Women's Veteran United Committee, and we're also going to be having at the Curves in Fort Washington a bra fitting day to educate young ladies on the proper wear of their undergarments on April the 17th. So we will be showing the flyer for that as well, but that's in Fort Washington, Maryland, the Curves of Fort Washington. So we'd like to thank our listening audience. I'm sorry, yes.
I have one more thing to say. We've been talking about youth. My cousin George Hodge, go like him. He's involved with creating an environment for young men to grow, expand, as is Rob. And this week, coming Saturday, they are having a gentleman's summit out in Seat Pleasant, Maryland. I will post that information on Live Today. It's free. All you have to do is register. It's also connected to the Bowie Gentlemen's Club and 100 Black Men.
Okay.
And so if you have a son, a cousin, or a male child in your experience, I recommend that you come and spend a couple of hours at the Seat Pleasant Community Center on Addison Road this Saturday the 15th. and let's just have some fun.
All right.
I have Rob, do you have a website, you said?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
can you I don't know if you repeated that. Can you repeat it again?
And someone type it in the feed.
And it's going to come up on his
Yeah. So
on his intro as well.
So, because this is a movement, we have our Camp Fit, which is for kids that we're doing, and actually that's now starting enrollment. So middle school, high school kids, elementary even, that's campfit.tv. Easy. Campfit.tv.
Okay.
Camp Fit.
And one thing that I started getting flooded with questions from parents and people all over because it's a TV show too.
Okay.
So on Direct TV, and so I had folks calling me from all over saying, "How can I be part of the show?" Or "How can I get my kids on your program?" Or parents call me, "How can you help us? We need some." We're in Chicago though. I was like, okay, I got like 4 or 5 calls. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and build an app. So now we're building an app. It'll be out in about 30 days to where people can come and they can find a health coach, life coach, and connect with them, and then also see them. We have Skype built in there.
Okay.
So it's almost like it's a health and wellness social network. Find anybody you want, anytime, anywhere, and then connect with them. And that's fitworldwide.net. Fitworldwide.net. And that's how you register for the app.
It's showing up on
Okay.
on our feed under his name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So that's how we do it.
And again, where is it located?
Fitworldwide.net.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, listening audience, thank you for chiming in today for Live Today Health Talk. We thank our special guests, Mr. Rob and RJ Howze in the house.
Thank you very much.
All right. And with that will be it. Please share this information, chime in to each one of our websites that we've presented to you today, and have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday at 5 p.m. All right. Thank you so much.
Adios.
Be blessed.